Hey folks, what's up? Jorge Anito here. Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about card mats, card tables, and how you can make your own. But first I wanted to start out with just a simple trick. It's nothing really hard, but it's just the 4 aces. And what I want to do is see if you can catch my bottom deal. And so I want to move the aces to the bottom. Let's see if you can catch me dealing the 4 aces from the bottom. Now, be gracious because I'm not actually that good at this, but we'll give it a try. So, did you see it? Okay, I know I'm not that good, and I'm guessing you guys are going to say you saw this one, and you'd be right. I need to work on that third try, or third pull. But did you get this one? Or what about this one? Lastly, how about the ace of diamonds? Alright guys, thanks for stopping by, and let's talk about card mats. So this is, let me actually move this camera back a little bit so you can see what I'm working with here. This right here is a, like a tray table that I bought from Walmart. And so I paid about $7 for it. I paid about $7 for a couple yards of velvet. This is stretch velvet. And I also purchased some foam padding. This stuff right here, it actually tears off like sheets of paper towels would. You can see perforated, or the edges here, you could just tear it off just like paper towels. So yeah, it's really simple. Before we really get into the DIY stuff, I just want to let you know that these card mats and card tables, they cost so much money online or just anywhere. I was going to spend $400 on a hard surface from Dan and Dave. It had like wooden trim, really beautiful looking, and obviously you could sit it anywhere on an ottoman, coffee table, even your couch. And since it's a hardback, it would have been perfect. And I thought $400, I couldn't justify in my mind spending that much money on something that I thought that I could probably make myself. And so I went out and got a couple things at Walmart. And so let's just come over here. This is a TV tray, another one that I'm actually going to make, going to use. This one over here. This one's a little bit different because it has the wire, has like the wire legs, and you would think that these would be a little bit rickety, but it's actually fairly sturdy, you know, and you're just doing card work on it anyway. And so it's not like you're, you know, going to be jumping up and down on it. This one over here is a wooden one. It has wooden legs. And you can actually turn these things upside down, and with a Phillips screwdriver or a drill, you could just pop out the 4 screws holding the brackets, and you can make this just a hard flat surface that you can lay anywhere. Okay, so if you don't want the legs, you just want the surface. All you gotta do is just take a screwdriver and pop the legs off. It's very simple. 4 screws are holding that together. I have 2 decks that I'm using on this velvet fabric. I bought a polyester fabric to try it out. It actually didn't work as well as the velvet. The velvet costs a little bit more, but like I said, for like $7, $8, get a couple yards. I had enough for this table. I'm going to use it for another one. I'll probably have some left over to even do a third one if I wanted to. But I'm using USPCC cards just to kind of see how they would feel on the actual table. And I got a pack of Cardamundi cards, both 2 very different style decks, different card stock. And so I just wanted to see how they would feel on the velvet surface. That was a terrible ribbon spread. But they handle great, and with the padding underneath of it, you can pick cards up with ease. I mean, it's nothing to it. Coin work, same thing. I don't do much coin stuff. Do a few things, but you can very easily pick stuff up. Okay, it probably would have worked without the padding that I laid underneath of it, but I wanted to have that extra cushiony support, but it's not so cushiony that it's, you know, the deck is just flimsy and all over the place. It's still a very firm surface. It just has a thin layer of foam between it. And so, oh, by the way, stay tuned to the end of the video. I'll go ahead and give away these decks of cards. It is Halloween. This is Cardamundi's Little Deck of Horrors. It's from Illusionist, but it's made by Cardamundi. It's very clean cards. I take very well care of my cards, all of them. And so even though, yeah, they're used, I take really good care of them. I actually haven't used these two decks a whole lot. I have a couple of the Archangel bicycles. This is the newest one that I have. So I'm just going to give these away to somebody. And all you have to do is just comment down below. Just maybe ask a question. Leave some feedback. Is there anything you're curious about? Different tools of the trade that I use, like card mats or mirrors, stands, like tripods for cameras, in order to practice magic. Just even if you just want to say hi, just leave a comment. I'll pick out somebody, and we'll announce it next Thursday, Halloween, and we'll get these decks sent out. So let's go ahead and get into the DIY part of the video. And maybe I should have, I'm not good at video editing. It's something that I'm working on learning. So bear with me. So I'm just going to give you the steps that I took in doing this. So first thing, you want to have a staple gun. Okay, this is that foam material I was telling you about. It's like $5 or $6. You'll probably be able to find it cheaper, maybe at a dollar store, but it's very thin. I picked it up at Walmart. Okay, then this is the actual velvet material. It's really soft. And something to note about this is it's going to have a little bit of debris and like fur sort of, you know, fray off from the surface, and that is easily fixed with just a lint roller that you could pick up from a dollar store. Or if you don't have that, just a tape. If you have like masking tape, just wrap some around your hand, obviously the sticky side out, and just roll over the actual velvet itself, and you'll be able to pick up all that lint, debris, pieces of, you know, dirt, whatever. And so that's going to clean it up real nice, and that's always good just for upkeep in general, is just have a lint roller handy. We have Gorilla Spray Adhesive. They make a couple different types of this. I got the heavy-duty kind. It seemed to work fairly well. A tape measure, you don't really actually need this, but you know, it does come in handy. Okay, so that said, So you have your tray table, or your, I guess that's what they call these things. You could really use them for anything. But the first thing you want to do is roll out this foam. And so I took just a couple of sheets. I think I used 3 in total. And what I did was I went ahead and I lined it up against the edge. And I made sure to, I actually flipped it upside down. Lined it up, took the staple gun, and I pinned down the foam on the underside of this. So once you have the foam pinned down, there's actually going to be a strip of wood left over here at the back. And what I did was just once this was pinned down, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. You want to use the spray adhesive first. What am I thinking? So very gently spray your table down with some spray adhesive. It doesn't take much at all, just a light wisp back and forth, and then you go ahead and lay this down, right? And so give it a little bit to dry. Give it about 10-15 minutes to dry. Go ahead and staple go ahead and pin the foam down on the underside with your staple gun. Okay, and then for this extra strip right here, I just took the foam, a couple extra strips, and just cut it with some scissors, and I just laid it, lined it up against these sheets on the back, and just did the same thing. Took the same steps that I did with this one, with the thinner strip. Okay, so once you have that, you have it laid with foam, then this is where you go ahead and you take your fabric. You know, polyester is not a very good choice. If there's anything I could suggest, it would be velvet, black, green, really whatever color you want. But velvet is good. This is stretch velvet, so it has a little bit of give. So you want to also plush, padded plush is another really good fabric. It's kind of hard to find online, but there is places that have it. JoannFabrics.com, they carry a polyester plush that's really nice, I've heard. But this is just simple black velvet from Walmart. And what you want to do is just take and lay it over your table, just like so. You want to get close to the edges as you can. And what I did, you could actually measure this out and cut it on like a kitchen table or something. I just draped it over the table like this, and then I just kind of cut around the edges, leaving a couple inches hang. Okay, so that way I could actually pin it down too. So once you have this big piece of fabric cut out, you want to take and pin that down as well. And what I did was just come underneath of it and just to get it tacked down. Okay, so you just want to get it pinned down in a couple good secure places, maybe at least 3 on each side. And then you can actually flip the table over and you can stretch the fabric out on the underside. Oh, I'll knock my camera over. Then you can actually pull back the fabric, stretch it back tight once you have it pinned down initially, and then you could staple it down on this side and then hit it across the other side as well. Obviously, it's important in card magic and sleight of hand to have some type of surface. There's, you know, obviously you want to be good enough to where if you're in a situation and somebody says, hey, will you show me a magic trick? You don't have a surface. You want to be able to perform. You want to be well enough that you can perform without a surface. But it does help a lot if you just happen to have one with you, even if it's one that rolls up. A hardback that's portable, easily transportable. Okay, and it adds a level of professionalism to it, I think. It's essential for practice for me, but also for just performance. This table right here stands, I think it stands probably 2.5 feet tall. So just depending on your height, how tall you are, you know, that will determine, you know, the type of chair you sit in. But this works pretty good for me. I'm just sitting on my coffee table right now. If I was to throw this in front of my lazy boy and sit in it, I would come up a lot higher, and so I would be, you know, working down on it. But like I said, you know, it's pretty adaptable. I mean, like I said, you can take off the legs, you can use it for whatever, just the flat surface. But that's all I got, guys. You could spend a couple $100 and buy yourself one, or for under $30 you can make your own and it'll look just as nice as if you had bought one. So with that said, thanks for coming over again. I'll go ahead and give these decks away to somebody. Just comment down below a question, leave some feedback, whatever. Next Halloween, or this coming Thursday, Halloween, I'll announce the winner and we'll get these decks out to you. Thanks again, and God bless.